Okay, welcome to Author series, episode number 3. And as you all know by now, that this is a special series for 12 special authors who have become nothing less than drawing legacies while writing their first book in just 2 months. And this is special series, as I said, because I really wanted to honor them from the core of my heart to all these pen warriors who have just put their heart, mind, and soul in writing their books. And every episode, I'm bringing a new author on board. And this time, there is another one who's very special. Okay. So, to introduce him, maybe I would say that to do or not to do may be a question for others. But for a rising sun, the sunlight is unquestionable. Suraj Shankar and his book, which is To Speak or to Listen, that is the question, which is the title of the book, is one of such rays of sun which sheds light on the darkness or the dark side rather than dark sides of today's conversation. Dark because these conversations these days have shortened up to just talks or maybe chats. And that's where Suraj's book comes as a shining armor. So welcome, Suraj. And before it goes to him, I would just love to say one more thing, which is a very alluring aspect, is that Suraj hails from Indian Army, and it's been 27 years since he has been serving there. And in between all of that, he has written this book. And there are some very interesting part of this writing journey, which I'm going to reveal during the interview. With that, I welcome Suraj on board. Suraj, welcome to
Thanks
Author
a
to
lot
Author
for
series.
having me here. It's been great. It's been a great journey, and you have been a real great support for me. So thanks for inviting me here, and it feels great. It absolutely feels great.
Wow. And while I'm saying thanks to you, I'm so well. I mean, I cannot say I'm overwhelmed right now. Welcome. And it was indeed an honor to, what to say, to be a friend. And while being a friend, coaching you, uh, it was class apart experience.
Thank you. Actually, that moment from initial being a stranger to being a co NLPN, thereafter to that co TTT, and then to book coach, and thereafter to the buddy has been great. It's been excellent. I must really say it's been an excellent journey, and the bond grows. So the bond grows as the days grow. So that's nice.
Absolutely. It's seriously something worth capturing, and that is why these series are there, because this journey especially is very close to my heart. Okay, Suraj. So with that, uh, the very first question is, what was the inspiration behind your book? Or maybe who was the inspiration behind your book?
Yeah. Okay. I was initially, I actually am in HR, so
Mhm.
interact with a lot of people. What I observed was in HR, we talk a lot with a lot of people, and to be very frank, this point of observing people's uniqueness and that people behave differently came in through the NLP. So once I got onto NLP, I started thinking as to why people behave the way they are doing. And thereafter, I observed that the major factor which is involved in people contacting with each other is the conversation or the verbal means of talking with each other. Could be face to face, or could be through phone, or could be through any other medium which is through the verbal media. So that got me thinking that people are actually interacting with each other with this. However, that interactions are not as great as they could be had they known much more better ways of going about doing that. And that led me to this. So that became the basic inspiration for this. And thereafter, as I did a little bit of research and did a little bit of reading, I came to know that yes, there are ways and means to better your conversations by the day and break many of those myths that we have. That, like, for example, Don't talk to strangers, which is one of the basic myths which has broken initially itself. And thereafter, I found I'm getting unique and beautiful perspectives of people. And might be as the days progress, everybody else would also be able to enjoy that beauty that I am enjoying nowadays. So that is the inspiration.
Wow. So you took inspiration from real life, and that's what I feel that is becomes the biggest power when you look around and see what exactly is I would not say the missing point, but maybe something which was forgotten along with the time. And that art of that lost art of conversation, and I guess that's the best part because generally what happens and what in fact happened with me, I would not generalize, rather I would talk about my own experience when I started writing. In fact, my very first story, which got shortlisted, had just my kind of, almost my journey and a mix of fiction in that, and that was it. I could not think beyond myself. And then when I started exploring a bit deeper, I realized that, true authors or real authors or the real challenge of writing comes when you start looking around. You come out of yourself. You stop looking at your stories and start looking at the world's stories. And that's where, because these are the stories which need to be told. Your stories will definitely be asked once you talk about their stories. And you started the book from others, observations and stories, and maybe something which uh, actually needed to be in limelight and actually needed to be casted a light on. So wonderful inspiration, Suraj, I must say.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. In addition to this, there have been places where I
Mm-hmm.
have been going around. Wherever I have been going around, I have been meeting a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
and it has come to light that each story is unique. So even if you're having twins at the same place, I've observed they have a totally different story to tell. And the more you do conversations, the more you get involved into all those stories. You become a part of them. You learn, you evolve, you grow, and it's beautiful experience. And each of those, I can tell you, has actually enhanced the amount of knowledge that I have of things. Oh, by the way, I have met a person who was in a jail in Saudi
Oh,
Arabia,
oh,
and on the metro, and similarly a person who is playing band in the police, Delhi police. An enormous number. Okay, I can keep going on, and daily I keep getting some of the other experience, but that we will have as a part of might be the follow-up series what I do for my books, and at some point of time, and might be some lectures or some workshops that we do. So right now, those experiences have actually ensured that I need to put something on paper, and that has been the second reason why I have got on to getting this book. The inspiration has been great. The inspiration has been great. Thanks.
wow. That actually gave me goosebumps. Okay, Suraj. So I know the story of what is the story behind the title of your book, but the nation wants to know.
Oh wow. Okay. So how do we do conversations? This is what it is. We find that people are talking to each other a lot. We
Mhm.
talk. We actually talk with everybody around us. We talk with friends. We talk with our spouse. We talk with our children. We talk with anybody and everybody around daily. With most of these people, however, we talk and we do not listen, and that is what is the base reason why most of the conversations don't go as well as you would have wanted them to be. We all have had conversations. We have had conversations which are excellent, where we feel actually elated. We feel, wow, what a connect we have made with the person. There is no reason why all of our conversations can't be like that. So the need is to understand when to speak, when to listen, and the most important part is how to maintain that balance. And what is the balance that needs to be maintained? And that is the prime reason why the title has been stated like that, to speak or to listen. That is the question. If you know this mantra, Guru mantra, all your conversations can be as great as you want them to. So that's what it is.
Wow. And I'm sure by now, before we move on to the rapid fire questions, many are already on their toes to check out the book. And we'll be showing the book as well as Suraj has it, the hard copy. And also, I have got few requests in previous interviews that the link needs to be shared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the link in the description boxes of each of their interviews respectively, along with their social media handles, so you can reach these authors and have heart-to-heart conversations with them. Okay, Suraj, ready for the rapid fire? I know Suraj, being the sun, is always ready to spread the rays of inspiration. Still, I
Yes.
need a nod.
Yes, yes. Shoot. That's what it
Okay,
is.
here comes the first ray.
Yeah.
Describe your book in one line.
Connecting through conversations.
Wow, that was very precise. Okay, who is your most favorite author?
I have many. However, the best is Dale Carnegie
Mhm.
and Stephen Covey right now.
Wow, I haven't read
So,
any of them yet to read now.
yeah, you would have read Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, which is one of the
Ah,
best which
yeah,
Stephen Covey has.
yeah.
It's excellent book. And Dale Carnegie has got how to actually have great interaction with people.
How
His
to win friends
a
and
lot
influence
of the
people.
good
Yep.
ones which are there. Yeah, all of them are on growth. So that's nice to read them. So I'm on to growth level right now. So yes, those are the ones which are favorites right now.
Brilliant. Okay. You have already stated your favorite book, but anything apart from that? Any favorite books?
Books.
Yeah.
Okay, books. My first book which had inspired me was To Serve with Love
To
by
serve
E.R.
with love.
To Serve with Love. E.R. Braithwaite. A
Okay. Okay. I've read
beautiful
that.
book.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's one of the best books which I had read at that point of time, which was enough to actually encourage me to read more.
absolutely.
So and then he has written a lot many other ones which are there. However, that was the one which had got me there. And in the recent ones which is there is the autobiography of Vikram Sarabhai.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, wow, that's another beautiful book. If you can lay your hands on it, it's worth reading for everything that's there, from how he has grown up, where what all different ways he has gone through, and it actually shows that the more you become busy, the better you grow, and the more time you have for the things that you want to, which is excellent. So it's a beautiful book. So those are the books which have actually been there. The authors are different right now, yeah, but those books have been an inspiration for me always, and they're going to be remaining like that.
Yeah. And with that, you took me to the memory lane of To Serve with Love. That was part of our literature curriculum. And I guess I had read it twice or thrice back then, and it just made a special place in my heart. So
Yes.
indeed a very deep book and very, very interesting book.
Yes, yes, yes. Very interesting book. Different perspective on how the things have been happening and what all can you do. That flexibility of being able to do things in a different way. And what we have in today's schools, that rote learning and all those aspects is just thrown out of the window. He just takes on a totally different form of how to go about dealing with youngsters who are there and how to actually mature them into great adults who can be actually contributing to the society, which is nice, which is a very, very needed thing of the hour. And I think that's the way forward. I hope somebody picks it up and then changes our actually school curriculum that is also existing right now, which is also
And who
great.
knows, Suraj might be the next one.
Yeah, you really don't know. Keep the curiosity alive.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Suraj. So with that comes a bit not tedious one, but a bit one which will take you to the memory lane, back to the memory lane of writing book. What was the most challenging or scary moment or the phase of writing this book?
Yeah, okay. The thought of writing. That was the first thing. Actually, I had never in my wildest dreams thought that I would be able to write a book. So that was a very big block which is there. Um, and the beautiful thing is that somehow it has just got removed, and might be that's what it is. So that was the block, and I think that was a challenge. That was a challenge. I had to put down things on paper, and that point of time I really had thought of giving up
Oh,
initially.
Uh-huh.
Then I realized giving up is not there for soldiers. So it's not an option. So you need to
Uh-huh.
put something on paper, then start it. And once you start something, then it goes out. So the beauty is that start is what it is. Similarly, relating it to the conversations, anything with strangers is just the first word, a hi, a hello. So that's how it is. The challenge was to write that first word, and that was a big
Wow.
one.
And I never realized that you felt that challenge, because when you came to me with a very proper, idea and premise for the book, that, this is what I'm thinking about, and this is what I'm thinking to plan for the book. This is the one line idea. This is this. Please have a look. In fact, I remember I took, I guess, around 2, 3 days to get back to you. And when I read that, I was like, this is very well planned. So I never gave it a thought that that also might be the possibility that Suraj somewhere was stuck and then he came out of it. So brilliant. You never let me feel that.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Actually, that's been your prodding which has helped. That prodding is always been there, and that's such a big support. You got our back, so it's nice. So I knew that even if I didn't have to actually worry too much on it, and might not worry at all. Actually, why worry when you are there behind? So that's what's great.
Thank you so much. Okay. So what was the exciting part about writing?
Okay. The thing of seeing what you have in your heart poured out on paper,
Mm.
the most exciting thing. Anything that's in your heart, when it gets down, when you actually read it, you're actually reliving that whole thing that's there. And what it brings about is wow, a wow feeling where you are actually elated to know that yes, these are the things which I would have wanted somebody else to actually tell me. And I have been able to put that on paper, which means now I will be able to tell this to others, which might be of help to people, might not be, but that's not the point. The point is that it would be there for people who want that to be used in whichever way they want, which is a very, very great feeling. And that's the most elated feeling that I'm having even now.
Indeed, it is. Indeed. So the sheer feeling of just seeing the work on paper, uh, and that takes me to one of my strategies which I generally use. Like when I start writing, I did with all of you, like I made your covers beforehand, and to some of you I sent beforehand, to some of, when the title came up, to some of them I sent later. But my primary strategy is always like, I send the covers before, or I make the covers before, because I visualize the book being ready in that form. This is how it's going to look. And that gives me a kick every single day, that,
Yeah.
see this. This is the
Yes.
result. This is the
Yes.
result. And every time I open my laptop and I sit to write, I used to sit to write. I used to look at my it used to be my wallpaper till the time I was finishing that. And so I used to look at that, and it used to give me a kick. And I always, with all my 4 books, I finished my first draft within 1 month. And that was all because of the visual kick which I got from the cover.
Yes, yes, and you were able to transform that kick to all of us, which is how we have been able to put it that in 2 months, which is a great feeling actually. It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. You have been able to actually give those points for us to might be navigate one by one and reach where we are right today, which is an excellent thing to do. And I think that's one thing which can be emulated even in all the conversations that we catch up from one point to another, weave that thread around, build up that connect, and have W4. Now keep guessing W4 what it is. I'll tell you at
Yeah.
the
Wow. That's a nice effect. Keep the curiosity alive.
end.
Okay. So, what is that one limiting belief, Suraj, that you conquered during this journey of writing?
Yeah, it's related to the thing that I cannot write a
Mm-hmm.
book.
Okay.
So that limiting belief is off anyway. So that's it. That first letter on paper, it took a lot of time. And once I started writing, then it went off in a flow which was nice. Even though I was not sure how much will I be able to manage this pages of whatever pages, excellent pages that I could have put in. I was really not very sure. However, that challenge which was there, that point of putting it in paper, that was my limiting belief that I cannot be writing a book. So that's off now. So which
My
is great.
gosh, it never looked like that, because to be very frank, amongst all 12, I guess the complete rewriting, if anybody has done, and that too, I guess 3 or 4 times, that is you. And then you are saying that it was very tough to bring it out on paper. Come on. I mean, the person has written the whole book 4 times. And all the 4 times, I would not say anything was wrong, anything was bad. It was just that we wanted it up to the storytelling level. And that is why the revisions were happening. But I cannot discard any of the draft. Every draft was standing on its own, had its unique powers. So when I look at those, I always used to wonder back then, had I been at your place and if somebody would have asked me to write the whole book even once, after that once I would have given up. I cannot write again.
Don't
I
tell me
have
this.
would have literally given up because I have always written my first draft. I go that prepared कि with पूरा हथियार लेके कि अभी इसके बाद कुछ नहीं बचा है. I am directly getting into the battlefield. अभी whatever is coming will come up. Later on, editing will happen, but I will not do the rewriting. And when you did that, I literally got so inspired that it's a takeaway for me as a book coach that I have to be ready for that part as well, which I wasn't ever ready. Like it's kind of a limiting belief for me that I would not rewrite, or maybe my ego is talking, whatever it is. Like, but that was there. After seeing your journey, I was like, hats off.
Actually, Vina, I was inspired. Okay, actually, how that whole thing happened was when you brought out that initial part. I am used to writing in a manner in which we do service writing. Service writing is a very formal way of writing in which you go logically by point to point, and thereafter you just put it there, and that's taken so that you are all those brevity ABCD of writing, that is accuracy, brevity, clear, correct, and that sort of thing is there. So you put everything into that form, and that's how I gave it to you, which I thought was the right way. However, keeping my mind okay, ki, yes, I will get some revision from you. So the first time you gave me a revision, I was thinking, yes, yeah, revision I will have to do. I did a little bit of revision and gave it back to you, and it is at this time, if you remember, I put that short story. You had
Yeah.
instilled that short story. And when I gave back that short story to you, that is when you told me, my God, if you can do this, I don't need to do anything for your this thing. You please take it back and do this. That is exactly what you told me. And that rang that bell, and that removed that whole thing. Okay, this is what is required in book writing. So that's how I got into that. And then it's a different thing altogether. So there it's a lot to do with the senses, lot to do with the emotions, lot to do with how you bring that onto paper and how you can transform that for people. So it's a totally different ball game altogether. So I have learned an excellent skill, which thanks to you has improved from nowhere to a book. Wow. So that's what it is I am on today. So that's great. So that's what it is. That's the story. And I remember this very, very clearly because you had told me that short story was the thing which has told me, no, you don't require me to write or help you out at this. You can do it on your own. Just follow this. This is great. So thanks to you for that.
That
Thanks to
was a
you for
game changer.
that was actually game changer.
Wow. And I'm feeling like I'm reliving those moments again.
I will have these moments in my memory always. You can
Yeah.
relive so many of them. For me, that's the start. And you always remember the beginning of anything and
Yeah.
the initial or the latest part of whatever we have done. So both have been great.
Yep. So my mind is documented into different sections. So all are similarly recalled, remembered, and are there in my mind and heart.
Ah,
It's
that's
just that
excellent.
when talking about it, the magic of conversation brews up all these memories or at a much stronger level. I can feel the aroma.
Yes, yes. Actually, the aroma of that whole thing boiling and that froth coming out, that whatever scents it's giving you, the feeling of that whole bubbles breaking one by one, and all those limiting beliefs are those bubbles which are actually breaking off. And then you actually can relish that whole coffee to its
Yeah.
maximum thing that is there. And me being a South Indian, coffee?
Ah, love forever.
So that's what it is. Yeah,
believe.
okay.
And I'm loving the fact that the conversation also is moving the way your book generally is about. Like it's exactly the way there are techniques in the book. We are moving in that direction without consciously using those techniques.
That's great to know. That's great to know. Actually, you have caught on to the point very well. I think these are all those inspirational things for other people to might be buy the book, read it, and might be implement whatever they can from that. Even if one of them is there, even if one of those steps which I have told has been done, you will have excellent conversations. This is sure.
Absolutely. I'm vouching for it.
Practical example in front of all of them. That's what is going on, which is nice.
Yeah. Okay, Suraj. So that brings me to the next question, which is what is your new empowering belief about writing? And please don't say that I can write, because that you've already said that you could
Okay.
not write has been broken. So anything else, anything other than that came to you as a realization?
Yeah. The thing is that, again, I told you about this. The formal part is one form of writing. You have so many different ways of writing. If you can get some sample or might be
Mm,
something that clicks with you very well, then you can transform that part, take that process and put it into anything else that you have created and
mm.
create a totally different form of whatever presentation that you have, and it'll be beautiful to see. And like you said, still like an artist.
Yeah.
So it is wonderful. Actually, you can just take one, put it there, do a little bit of thing, and it is a fact that is impossible to copy 100% of anything. So whenever you try to copy and put it, you will have a part of you always coming into that. And this is the belief that I've got, which
Wow.
means I can take from one, put it there, put the second one, put it into third. Poetry, go into pictures, do stories from pictures, write short story. Beautiful. That's what is the thing that I have learned from this whole experience that I've had.
Wow. That's really actually something which I always say that, uh, people can steal your honey, but you are the honeybee. You know the art of making honey. So so it's like, and also like people can steal your content, but not the talent. So this was a very strong takeaway. In fact, I have never worried about my content being copied. It's okay. At least I think of it is as other way, that the tree which has fruits is always only that tree would be thrown the stones on.
Hmm.
If you have the fruits on you, then only you'll be thrown the stones. So I have the fruits, that's okay. And I have the power of, you know, producing more fruits. So why to worry about if one fruit was stolen by somebody? That's okay.
Yeah.
At least that
And
was
each
worth
of those,
stealing.
yes, and each of those stones is actually making you more resilient.
Yeah,
It is making you more and more stronger, more
yeah,
and more powerful, which is
indeed.
great. And it allows you to actually, your fruits, if they are being taken by others, it means they are worth taking.
Yeah,
They're throwing stones because it's worth taking. And if you are able to produce fruits which are worth taking, what better thing can you have? What
absolutely.
better thing? Absolutely, that's what it is.
Yeah. Great. So that brings me to the last question of these long answers, and then we go to the shorter rapid fire round. Okay, Surat. So, who was the most happiest apart from being your book coach? Not me, not your mentors, not you. Who was the most happiest person to see your book?
Uh, my wife, my
Wow.
spouse, she's been there throughout, and she has borne the brunt of this whole thing that I have been getting into. At times, you would find that uh, Saturday, Sundays are the only time when actually I'm at home.
Mm-hmm.
And lot many Saturday, Sundays have been spent writing these. So the time which was to be given to my wife has transformed into a book. So she was the happiest person when that thing came out. She told me, wow, this is nice. This is nice. So this is worth that time that you have actually invested into this thing, which is great. So that's what it is.
Wow.
And now I have slowly moved it. Actually, I didn't give it to anybody else. Informed only a very closed knit group of people that I am writing a book. Now it's starting to spread, and there are a lot many other people who are actually encouraging me onto that, which is great. However, the person who was most happy about this whole thing was, yes, my spouse. So that's what it is.
Wow, very touching actually. Okay, with that mushy feeling, we are going ahead with this or that round where I will be giving you options. You have to choose one. Okay, ready?
Yes,
All
ready to
right.
go.
All right, Suraj, spread your rays as strongly as you can, even though it is evening.
Yeah. Evening rays are the most
So,
beautiful to see. That's
yeah,
there.
yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
Suraj. So tell me, what do you like more, writing or editing?
Writing,
Okay. Next question. What do you like more, editing or marketing?
editing.
Okay. So the answers are coming just like me. I would have said the same answers. Okay, Suraj. What would you choose to write? Blog or story?
Story.
Okay. Story or novel?
Again, story.
Okay. Novel or non-fiction?
Non-fiction as of now
Mm-hmm. Okay.
might change. So as of now, yes, non-fiction.
Okay. A thriller or a romantic fiction?
Oh, that's a tough one. So I will go with romance because it involves a lot of senses. So
Wow.
yes, romantic.
Looking forward for that.
So I have already put my guard. So it's not going to be fiction. It's not going to be non-fiction. So that's the guard.
Wow, very smart, huh? Okay, Suraj. So it is reading or writing. What do you like more?
Reading.
Okay. Journaling or story? Reading.
Journaling. I think now I have started going on to journaling. The amount of people whom I am meeting, it's actually blowing my brains out every
Wow.
day.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to do that. Not yet.
The journaling, you
I,
haven't started.
I have put two lines for every day. That two lines to transform into a page, I will have to give some more time for it. Yeah, I think I'll
Oh,
do that sometime. Let's see how
cool.
how fast can I start. I've not yet started, so I need to do that. Yes.
Wonderful. My wishes for that. And if you need any help in journaling prompts or any structure, I'm just a message away.
Yeah, I know that, buddy. That's great.
Yep. Okay, Suraj. So next question is mythology or crime fiction?
Mythology.
Okay. Autobiography or self-help book? What would you write?
Oh, autobiography. I think that would be best. Not writing, reading, because
Oh,
I
okay.
like
Reading.
reading. So that's what it is. Writing, I'll still get on to self growth because autobiography writing would require somebody really great to maybe take out that whole thing from me and put it down. So, not me. I wouldn't write mine.
Okay, we will write your biography then.
Ah, that's great.
Okay. Okay, Suraj. So next question is second book or no books now? And you rather say the second option. You better
Yes.
say the second.
No books now? Yes, no books now is what it is.
No, no,
You
no, no,
told me
no, no.
second option.
Second,
You told me second
second
option.
book.
The first option was
The first
yeah,
option is second
that's
book.
the one. Yeah, the book is there. We were just about might be putting our brains into what it could be about the power of silence, the power of
Wow.
listening, not power of silence, power of listening. So let me see how it goes because
I'm the
that is the
first buyer.
yeah already pre-booking. I, because that's the most important part of these conversations. You just need to listen. That's it.
Yep.
If you can, yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Okay. So want to learn more writing when you write your next book, or you want to do it by yourself?
No, I would want a lot of learning on writing, which is there. I would like to have a lot of practice,
Mm-hmm.
more than might be learning. Yes, so that will go ahead along with that. So the prompts have helped. I have learned that a lot of prompts help. You would have seen poetry, writing stories. This all comes from if I do it with some amount of pictures, something of that sort, I'm able to do it better. So I've learned this thing. I think that's how it is. I need to go a long way. So
Mhm.
miles to go before I sleep. So miles to go before I sleep. That's what it is.
Miles to go before I write.
Ah! Yes. No, not miles to go before I write.
Mhm.
Miles to go before I put it for others. So I will start writing.
Oh,
Let's see. That putting it for others, yes, it might take a little bit more time. Yeah.
wonderful. And that brings me to the last question, which is writer Nama or Hina M. Srivastav?
Now you tell me. You tell me the answer for this. You would be knowing it much better than me.
I don't give you the options. That's why.
Ah. Yeah, I have the second option. I think Ina is the option which is there. As a person is what it is. So
Wow.
so that beauty is what it is there. The beauty as a person, which is great. So that buddy is what it is.
Thank
So
you
thanks for being
so
there.
much. Okay, so are you willing to turn the tables like Sumi or
Yes, I will
okay?
ask you some of
Okay.
those. Okay. Okay,
All
fine.
right.
So in this journey of mine, you have already told about a little bit about initial part, what is there. At any point of time, did you feel that this person might not be able to hack it by
Actually, I never
himself?
felt. I never felt. In fact, I was very surprised. I would rather say shocked that, you were taking it. Like, I would say nobody would have, if I had asked anyone, or I'm generalizing actually, because I'm just thinking because this is what I would have done, that I would not try and I would just give it up. So every time I used to say, okay, Suraj, we need one more revision. And you were totally cool with it. And I used to, it was kind of a, what would I say? Like, with a lot of hesitation, I used to say that कि अभी कैसे बोलूं अभी इसको, because I've seen many instances where whenever I asked people to revise, it came on their not an ego, but it came on, they started self-doubting themselves that we are not good writers, and
Mhm.
that becomes like, that's a strong away from for me, that I don't want anybody to feel that. And while taking care of that, I have to still bring it up to the mark. And so I was just keeping my fingers crossed that, and nothing like that happened. And I was like, wow, such a smooth sailing. And so it was actually very remarkable. For me, I would call it jaw dropping that three times revision. I mean, hats off. It was never like, I never thought that after the second revision, when you came with the third draft, I was like, this guy is not going to give up for sure.
Okay, so leading on from there, now in my writing, what as per you are the strong points? Give me three of them.
The one is the structure, I would say, that you already had that structure, like how the chapters are divided, uh, and how that should be done. So that is one. Second is your vision. When you sent me the very first exercise of why this book and what is the purpose of this book, one liner and all that. Uh, to be very honest, I didn't expect that. Such clarity, such razor sharp clarity, I would say. I was like, wow, this doesn't need a rework, or this doesn't need any kind of further, questions from my side. It's just good to go ahead.
Mhm.
So that was another strong point. And third was, you had a lot of, like, the book was never, a very superficial book. It was, jam packed with all the powerful conversations in real life which you had, and that became the strength. So your maybe your inclination, or your this is your nature, that you strike so beautiful conversations with people, that has given you these wings. And maybe there are many other kind of places you're going to be with this, not just writing, I'm very sure, because the person who is good at conversations is not just good at writing, is good at multiple other things, because that is one art to ace, I guess, especially when you say that, it's a balance. And I always found that in you, it's a balance between speaking and listening. I'm yet to work on my listening part. So I'm just, working hard, or I would say I'm just looking here and there and finding inspirations, and you're literally one of them. So that was the third part, that like you derived inspiration from outside, you had a real-time experience to convert that into work. So that became easier for you. Like, had that been not there, I would not say that the people, only those people who have real life experience can write the book. The teenagers can also write the book. Sometimes you don't have the experience, because you have the experience all the time. Even if you are 1 year old, you have the experience of the world. So I cannot say you don't have the experience. The point here which stands out is that you captured those experiences, and that
And
made it worthwhile.
thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for being so kind with your words, which is great. And the last one for you, the Kalakar or Suraj?
It is Suraj always, because I can find the Kalakar in him.
The Kalakari needs to now come out. So that's a great thing to know, that yes, I need to might be more this thing on that. Yeah, I will. I am going to evolve. That's a vision. The Kalakar is a vision where I'm able to touch people's lives in various forms. So this is one of the ways. Conversation is one of the ways. So that's what
Wow.
I would say. And my last thing to everybody is, be interested in other people. That's more than enough. Just be interested in other people. One major rule is, when you're keeping your mouth open, you're not learning anything. You're only saying what you know. So I keep my mouth shut for as much time as possible, keep my mind open. And with interest, I maintain curiosity for what the other person is going to say. And that brings out awesome conversations. People like talking about themselves. Just let them and listen. You will
Wow.
have awesome conversations. That's what it is.
So
So
I've
that's it.
seen that in you when you are in TTT and we attend the batches. You were the person who hardly spoke. Like, when there was a question, you did. Otherwise, it was all the time in silence. And in fact, so I can see that, like, you're a very, very good listener. And so read the book to learn the art of balance of conversations. And yes, before we say goodbye, we are keeping our curiosity alive. So please feed our curiosity with W4.
Yes. So the W4 is worldwide wireless web of connections.
Wow, worldwide wireless web of connections. Wow, that's interesting.
So build that using the conversations, read the book, and you will get many more nuggets for building up that web that you want. So that's what it is. W4.
Wonderful. Great.
So
So this is a class apart conversation.
it's been a very relaxing and naturally feeling conversation, which is excellent. So
Absolutely.
thanks a lot, Hina. Connect. Connect ensures that this happens very naturally, so which is nice. I really love the whole thing that has happened today. So thank you for having made this possible. And to all of you who are watching, thanks for being there, for listening to this. And if you want more, go to the book on Notion Press, and the link will be shared on the YouTube channel, which is there. Please do go and get your copy and read it, implement it, and grow. That's what
Yep.
it is.
So if you want to be like Suraj, so balanced at conversation, so relaxed and so happy, joyous, and in the moment, I would not say please, because you have to read this book. This doesn't need a please. If you really want to grow, you got to get this book. This is going to be your passport to different world, different places. Okay, with that, thank you so much, Suraj, for sparing time. And thank you everyone for being here. We will be continuing the series, and this was a heart-to-heart, beautiful conversation with you, Suraj. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Hina. Thanks for calling me here.
Thank
Great
you.
to be part of this. Thanks.